Welcome to United Report, your daily hub for all things Manchester United. From breaking news to transfer talk and match updates, we've got every red covered. If you live and breathe United, hit subscribe and join the family. Glory, glory, Man United.
Manchester United are in for a dramatic transfer deadline day. With Rasmus Højlund set for a loan-to-buy move to Napoli, Antony off to Real Betis, and Jadon Sancho wanted by Aston Villa, the Red Devils could still make a shock move for World Cup winner Emi Martinez as their new goalkeeper. Could United pull it all off before tonight's 7 p.m. deadline? Manchester United look set to continue their busy transfer window, even during the final hours. The Red Devils enter deadline day still keen to do some more business. Ruben Amorim's side are in dire need of a new goalkeeper and have identified Aston Villa's Emi Martinez as a target. He was left out of the side as Villa lost to Crystal Palace on Sunday. Royal Antwerp star Senne Lammens has also been linked. Following Alejandro Garnacho's move to Chelsea, more exits could also be completed on deadline day. Antony, Jadon Sancho and Rasmus Højlund might all depart before tonight's 7 p.m. deadline. We're expecting confirmation of Rasmus Højlund's move to Napoli in the next few hours. Højlund, 22, arrived in Naples on Friday to undergo a medical with the Italian champions. The Danish striker will join Napoli on a season-long loan, which will see Manchester United bank £5 million. Antonio Conte's side will then be obligated to pay £38 million to sign Højlund permanently next summer. Real Betis have finally reached agreement with Manchester United to sign Antony on a permanent basis. Betis have stumped up a £21.6 million package for the 25-year-old winger, and United will have a 50% sell-on clause, The Athletic report. It's added that the Red Devils won't pay Antony a contract termination fee. Staying in Birmingham, Aston Villa are exploring a move for Jadon Sancho. Manchester United have thus far failed to offload Sancho, 25, after Chelsea opted not to sign him permanently at the end of last season, paying a £5 million penalty fee to send him back to Old Trafford. The Athletic report that any deal would separate United's interest in Emiliano Martinez. Emiliano Martinez was left out of Aston Villa's squad to face Crystal Palace last night, a game which Unai Emery's side lost 3-0. The decision came just hours after Martinez, 32, re-emerged as a target for United, with personal terms reportedly agreed. Emery told Match of the Day after full-time we will see tomorrow, for he stays. Of course, one of the circumstances that is not helping us. We need others, of course. I am happy with the players we have, but we have to get something more in the squad. The Red Devils will need to make a decision on whether to pursue a deal for Martinez or continue pushing for Royal Antwerp goalkeeper Senne Lammens, who's an option for Villa if they lose the Argentine. Hello and welcome to our live blog focusing on all things Manchester United. This transfer deadline day will bring you the very latest from Old Trafford throughout what's expected to be a morning and afternoon ahead of tonight's 7 p.m. deadline. Let's go. Manchester United transfer news. Senne Lammens, Manchester United. Senne Lammens, Aston Villa. Emi Martinez, Manchester United. Manchester United goalkeeper transfer. Manchester United deadline day news. Ruben Amorim, Manchester United. Aston Villa transfer news. Onana mistakes. Bayindir, Manchester United. Aston Villa are said to have made an approach for Manchester United target Senne Lammens, with the Red Devils courting both the Belgian and Emi Martinez before Monday night's transfer deadline. United are expected to bring in a new goalkeeper before the window closes with neither Andre Onana or Altay Bayindir, convincing in their appearances so far this season. Talks over a deal for Lammens have been ongoing, but it emerged over the weekend that United had rekindled their interest in Martinez, though they will only sign one. Martinez, 32, was heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford earlier in the summer. It was reported on Sunday that United have, in fact, now approached their Premier League rivals over a possible transfer, with an agreement on personal terms already in place. At the same time, news of an approach from Villa emerged. The Telegraph have since outlined that United have returned to the table with a new offer for Lammens, who they claim is the Red Devils' preferred target to come in and compete with Onana and Bayindir. The 23-year-old is highly regarded in Belgium by both club and country, and has also attracted interest from Galatasaray. He's keen on the idea of moving to Old Trafford, though if a deal can be done in the next 36 hours. While Lamans is likely to cost in excess of £20 million, that is around half of the £40 million that Villa would likely demand to part with Martinez. United have spent in excess of £200 million on new attackers this summer as they bid to bounce back from their worst ever Premier League campaign last year. Bayindir has started all 3 of United's games in the Premier League so far this season, but has been at fault for goals against Arsenal and Fulham. Onana, meanwhile, did not cover himself in glory, with a poor display in midweek when United were dumped out of the Carabao Cup on penalties by Grimsby Town of League Two. Villa could also be active on the final day of the transfer window. They were linked with Lucas Paqueta on Saturday night, and there were even suggestions the attacking midfielder would not feature in their game against Nottingham Forest on Sunday, though he went on to start for Graham Potter's side. Drama at Old Trafford. Manchester United lose £62 million star Matheus Cunha to injury. VAR cancels a penalty, and Bruno Fernandes seals a last-gasp win over Burnley. But was the referee right? Manchester United were handed a bitter injury blow during Saturday's Premier League win over Burnley, as Matheus Cunha went off with an apparent hamstring injury. The £62.5 million Brazilian lasted just under half an hour of the clash at Old Trafford. Just seconds after United took the lead against the newly promoted Clarets, Cunha felt a problem. He went straight down the tunnel and wasn't even treated by the physio before departing. His exit appeared to catch United boss Ruben Amorim off guard, as the home side didn't have a substitute ready to replace the former Wolves forward. Eventually, Joshua Zirkzee entered the fray. The only saving grace of the incident for United is that they're heading into an international week, and they're without a game for a fortnight. On the negative side, their next encounter is a Manchester derby against City at the Etihad. While United have struggled to get their season up and running, and were humiliated against Grimsby in the Carabao Cup, Cunha has started to settle and look the part. Handed the number 10 shirt at the club over the summer, he's expected to find his place as one of Amorim's twin number 10s in his favoured 3-4-2-1 formation, but has mostly been operating as the focal point of the club's attack since joining. And while he has been yet to score, there have been glimpses of the brilliance that made him a fan's favourite at Molineux and one of the Premier League's standout attackers last season, subsequently persuading United to splash the cash to bring him to Old Trafford. Cunha's departure came just moments after United had, somewhat fortunately, taken the lead. Casemiro's header rattled the crossbar, but hit Burnley skipper Josh Cullen on the rebound. Martin Dubravka did his best to prevent the ball from crossing the line, but the technology showed that it had. Eventually, United ran out 3-2 winners, Bruno Fernandes' 97th minute penalty, handing them victory over the Clarets. The Premier League's Match Centre has explained why Manchester United's penalty against Burnley was overturned in controversial fashion. In the opening stages of Saturday's clash, United midfielder Mason Mount looked to have been brought down Burnley right back Kyle Walker, and referee Sam Barrett pointed to the spot. That was despite Burnley's protests that the contact had ended outside of the penalty area, but after a VAR review and having been instructed to look at the pitch side monitor, Barrett concluded that there was no foul, not even awarding a free kick. The decision shocked the crowd, most of whom believed that even if it wasn't a penalty, United would be given a free kick. A post on the Premier League's Match Centre account read, "After VAR review, the referee overturned the original decision of penalty to Manchester United. Referee announcement. After review, Burnley number 2 does not commit a foul on Man United number 7. My final decision is no penalty, him and drop ball to the goalkeeper." Former Premier League defender Stephen Warnock described the incident was a 50-50, arguing that Walker was simply stronger than Mount. This is a 50-50 shoulder charge between the two, Mount and Walker is simply too strong, Warnock claimed on Final Score. Mount tries to get his leg across for contact, but then he goes down as a last resort because he knows that he's losing the battle. It is the right decision. They have taken a while to get there, but the officials have worked together and come to the right result. United captain Bruno Fernandes even had the ball in his hands while the VAR check was ongoing. Soon after play had restarted with a drop ball, the Red Devils had another penalty appeal turned down. Burnley left-back Quilinci Hartman stopped United forward Ahmad with a sliding tackle to prompt huge appeals in the Stretford end. Replays showed that Hartman won the ball, and Barrett was right not to award a penalty. The hosts didn't have to wait long for a goal though, coming in fortuitous circumstances. Casemiro's header rattled the crossbar, but hit Burnley skipper Josh Cullen on the rebound. Burnley goalkeeper Martin Dubravka did his best to prevent the ball from crossing the line, but the technology showed that it had. United had 2 golden opportunities to double their lead during the 8 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half, but Ahmad and Joshua Zirkzee both missed their chances to score.